Like, you can go there, you can get dragged there, but either way, like, I honestly believe there's always a higher purpose and direction for us.
Yeah, and at the time we don't understand it.
I
but
believe
over time you start realizing.
And I think that helps. Like, that more than anything, believing that helps.
Yeah.
Because it helps make sense of the madness. Otherwise, it's just pure madness.
Yeah.
Life and what happens, like
struggles and fails.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm okay with the struggle now. You know, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Part of it. Like, you want to be stronger, struggle.
Yeah. And the more you struggle, the stronger you'll be.
Yeah, totally.
Which, you know, if you're living life from a place of constantly seeking comfort all the time, can be a very uncomfortable thought.
Yeah, I read it.
The more you stay in that uncomfortable zone, I know you're kind of clicking, you're agreeing here.
Yeah.
The more you know, like it takes that to realise.
Yeah, we want it, and we need more of it in society today. Like, we've got too many comforts, too much stuff to make us soft and weak, and without that mental and physical resilience. And CrossFit gives all of us that stuff back, and community.
Yeah, and you know, I think I see that all the time in people at the gym and at the box. When they click onto that, you know, we have that moment where, like, you know, I'm suffering right now and this is hard, and I really enjoy it, and I've realized that I'm going to keep chasing this, because you have that moment where you realize, like, I love raising up to the challenge. You know, bring it on.
I love it too. And I mean, like I said, with my Fit as Fuck challenge, one of the things we do, one of the tasks is to reinvent suffering. Like, that's what that topic's called, and I've written a piece about reinventing it, and I ask people to write something as well. That task for the day is to reinvent their own suffering, so to reinterpret it, and because it's a good thing. You know, we constantly say, oh, it's just suffering, like it's a bad thing. It's like, you say that like it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Where would you be without it?
Yeah. You know, I did 1,000 burpees a month ago.
Nice.
For time. It was stupid and very silly, but you know, a lot of it was just, you know, I'd put it a few years ago, like this sort of like big thing, like I want to do it, I don't think I can do it, I know that I'll get to like rep 677 and want to quit, and you know, once you finish it, it's that feeling of accomplishment and knowing that, all right, like nothing's ever too big for me to tackle if you just chip away at it, you know?
Yeah, well, when we were saying earlier about working and training every day and how good that would be, you know, that perspective that people have, but, you know, some days it's the last thing in the world you want to do, that you feel you can do. You come in so tired and so sore, or, you know, just in fear, state of fear of what you've got to do, and I can't remember what I was going to say. Far out. Okay, there you go. Well, I am pretty old now, aren't I? What was I going to say? All right.
We we talk about the challenges and, you know, tackling.
Just go off on a tangent. I can't remember.
Oh, it's all good.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all good. Sometimes we feel what we're going to do. The muscle up. That's been a big issue for you in the past.
Oh yeah, it still is. It still is, and you know, it's a really interesting thing that's going on for me right now. You know, came back from the States pretty drained, exhausted, and it's taken me 2 months to get my resilience, my health, and you know that it's like investing in the bank account constantly. Like, I've been investing for so long, and I drained that bank account dry. So I've been filling it back up again, and so my muscle ups feel pretty bad at the moment. And actually, my 1RM lifts, like if I was to write my weaknesses down, they're them: 1RM Olympic lifts and muscle ups, and they feel the worst. And you know, I want to run and hide from them, but I've just had this mental shift. It's like, okay, so I lift 1RMs badly. Okay, so how can I lift my 1RMs better but still do it badly? Like, what if I'm just a bad lifter but I could lift heavier anyway?
Yeah.
And what if I'm a really shit muscle upper? You know, if I'm really bad at muscle ups, but what if I can just take what I do and just do it fucking better?
Yeah.
You know, like, just be stronger for it. Just, you know, work that aspect. Like, instead of just trying to change it and perfect it, it's like, what if I stop chasing that? Like, this is a totally new perspective for me. I'm going to stop chasing that, and I'm just going to take what I am, and man, I'm going to make myself so gnarly at it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's my attitude. It's like, oh, you know, I'll give up on that because it's so stressful, constantly trying to be perfect with it, and I'm far from it. But man, I can grind anything out, you know. I got skills, and I got capacity to grind, and I got mental toughness, and I seem to be pretty good across the board apart from those things. So That's a different attitude I've got at the moment. It's like, all right, I think even I don't follow him. What's his name? Big Russian lifter dude. Klokov. Right, Klokov. I think he said something. Somebody said it to me the other day. He's like, you know, if you just lift this way, we'll just lift that way really well. Like, you know, instead of trying to chase something else. And it just clicked for me. It's like, yeah, I'm on that edge of changing my perspective. So that's it, my new perspective. We'll see how that goes this year.
You know, and in fitness, there's so many different ways to do the one thing. You know, whether
Correct.
it be...
You look at everybody who lifts, and everybody lifts differently. It's like, okay, well, which one's perfect? I don't know, but they're all lifting pretty heavy.
Yeah, and you know, it's crazy because, you know, you come into it, especially if you're new, CrossFit's your first beginning, you feel like everything has to be done one way, your air squat has to be done one way, your pull-ups have to be done one way, and then you start venturing out and you start seeing, not even the world of gymnastics, but you see the world of, you know, dancing and movement and it being expressed in those sort of places. You see, you know, the Chinese weightlifting, which looks completely different to the weightlifting that we're traditionally introduced to, and they're all getting to the same place.
True. Yeah, I mean, same with swimming, you know, swimming technique, you might have a straight arm, an early vertical forearm, like, you know, bilateral breathing, like, there's a lot of different ways of swimming, but, you know, are you fast? Yeah.
And that's what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
What's been the hardest workout you've had to do in CrossFit, or what's been the biggest challenge that CrossFit has thrown at you?
Honestly, it's turning up every day.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's training or regionals or games. Like, the hardest thing about CrossFit is turning up every day and persevering when, you know, it feels like you're not getting anywhere, and maintaining a positive attitude. They're the hardest things for me. That's what I work on the hardest. You know, people think, oh, it comes easy to you. It's like, no fucking way. It doesn't come easy. Not one day. Not one day do I have without fear or without anxiety or without discomfort. And, you know, I just have to swallow it up and, you know, really call on all of my positivity work and, you know, just affirmations and just a willingness to turn up anyway, despite all of that. Like, I don't know if other people, you know, top CrossFitters don't have the fear and don't have the anxiety and all of that. I do. Like, that's my world, and I'm jealous of them if that's their existence. But I know I'm not alone, because, you know, every one of my clients has that and they share it with me all the time. So at least I can report back, it's the same for me. You know, they think when you get there it's not going to be like that. No, you just lift heavier and move faster for the same anguish and fear and frustration. We're all human.
What's been one of the biggest surprises as CrossFit's brought to your life that you didn't, obviously apart from the obvious ones, what's been one of the things that you weren't expecting at all?
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't even plan to be involved in CrossFit in the first place, you know. I mean, it found me. I didn't go looking for it. And then it's brought to my life, like, it's brought my entire life together, and I've never been more passionate about anything. And I think everything happens for a reason and at a particular time, and this has all come together for me to, you know, to express my highest potential and to explore it and to express it. So who would have thought? You know, I just think it's phenomenal that, you know, 44 years old, that I can have found my passion, and it's CrossFit, and that I'm badass, and that I run a, you know, coaching called Fit as Fuck, and you know, and I love what I do every day. Like I said, it's not that I don't fear and stress and have anxiety, but I love what I do. And
you're not the superhuman person that just gets up every day with all the energy in the world.
I work at it every single day. But that's the thing. And you know, my mum started CrossFit, right, a week ago, or she's had 7 sessions now. She's 68 years old. She got double unders in the first 2 minutes of skipping. You know, she rode a 2:12 for the first time she'd ever rode, ever. She rode 500 meters and rode a 2:12. And she, like, you think at 40 or 44 finding your passion is exciting. She's 68, and in the first week she is more passionate than she has ever been in her entire life. She is stimulated, she is excited, she is motivated, and she wants to look after herself. She's doing everything I tell her to do, which is what I tell my clients to do. You know, recovery and supplements and hydration and the sleep and everything. She's doing it. You know, it's like suddenly it's just galvanized everything that's positive for her.
That's awesome.
It's all heading in the same direction, like all of that stuff being channeled in something incredible. Instead of just like all of this energy that people have, and it's just going like a shitstorm everywhere. Like, whoa, bring it all together.
You know, focus it towards something. That's really cool. That's
the opportunity of a lifetime. Like, that's what people live for, really.
How long did it take you to get her into it?
I just suggested it to her a few weeks ago. I'm like, man, you should do CrossFit. She's like, I'm gonna start swimming again. I'm gonna do the Masters Games. It's like, she's a great swimmer. She doesn't have to train to win. Like, she's just a natural. She really is. But for 50 years probably, like since she started having kids, she had me at 23. She's been working and renovating and landscaping, you know, but never living her passion. Like, she was there for her kids, not for herself. And that's what so many mothers do. But at 68, you know, you think it's time to like give up and, you know, somebody to bury you at 68. Like, she's starting her life.
And it's awesome that something like CrossFit can exist.
And people are scared of CrossFit, right? Oh, I'm intimidated. I need to get fit before I go. It's like, well, my mum's 68. She hasn't done any kind of physical activity other than, you know, landscaping for like her entire adult life, and she's walked in here and just picked it up straight away. No fear.
It's all the attitude you bring to it. You know, and people just need to realise that. You know, you'll never be fit enough for it. Like, I'm until you start.
Totally drank the Kool-Aid on this, you know, but. You know, and for some people it's crocheting. You know, if crocheting's your thing, good luck to you. But if you get immense passion out of that, fantastic. And you know, I was actually going to start with a book club. Just going to a book club because it's something I think I still have to make sure I have something outside of, you know, my CrossFit.
And this is what again people want to find out, like, what else. Like,
so
what's your inspiration? Because you have a lot of this, you know, positive sort of drive. Like,
look, I listen to a million podcasts, and whenever I get in the car, Bulletproof is amazing. Paleo Solution and Endurance Nation, Endurance Planet. Sorry, those three. But I've done a lot of Anthony Robbins stuff and like people bagging, but I just think the guy's fucking incredible.
Oh, he changed my life. You know, I used to while going to uni, I used to work as a cleaner, and you know, I really hated having a shitty job, quite literally. And you know, I'd sit there listening to him, and you know, like I'd had this dream to like build a gym one day. You know, and I was 20 at the time, and I was like, how am I going to, you know, start a business at 20 years old? And you know, it happens. You know, like if you don't have that, until I had that sort of positivity in your life, that changes how you think.
Well, we all have to be exposed to it constantly.